What's going on, you guys? I am Mr. Grimreaper 512, and welcome to Jurassic Park Week. I have a special guest with me today, whom you have probably seen on the channel before. Hey Alpha, say hello to everyone.
Hello.
On today's special episode of Back in Time, me and my niece will be reviewing one of the all-time greatest films to ever be made, Steven Spielberg's magnum opus, Jurassic Park. In 1993, fans flocked to the theater when it was released, and the film became a massive success. The film was based on the novel of the same name. It was written by Michael Crichton, who also wrote the script for the film. The creature designs were created by the legendary and late Stan Winston, who has worked on films such as Aliens, the Predator franchise, and many others. Jurassic Park stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Samuel L. Jackson, and many others. With the release of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom coming in a few days, I figured, why not review the series? This is Jurassic Park. Now, for those of you living under a rock for the past 25 years, here's the plot of the movie. At the beginning of the film, we see Robert Muldoon, played by Bob Peck, and some workers trying to move a raptor into a holding pen. But something goes terribly wrong, which I still have yet to figure out what exactly. Joffrey, one of the workers, becomes dinner and is eaten by the raptor. Yum. Later, a lawyer by the name of Donald Gennaro, a representative to some investors looking to invest in the park, tells Hammond that he needs to bring in some experts to see whether or not if the park is safe. Well, that was anticlimactic. Of course, the park wouldn't be safe. I mean, really, after the whole thing with the guy getting eaten and all. Anyways, in comes Dr. Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, and Dr. Ellie Sattler, played by Laura Dern. Grant is a paleontologist who specializes in the dinosaur bones, while Ellie is a paleobotanist who specializes in the study of historical plants. Into the film. Wait, what?
They come to endorse the park.
Yeah, thank you. They are joined by chaos theorist and mathematician Dr. Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum, who sees past the bull and believes these animals are dangerous and have no place on this world anymore, because God said so. Dr. Ian Malcolm is also our joke star of the film, and adds charisma and comedy to make us forget about the poor souls that are now in the dinosaurs' digestive tracts. Backtracking to the scene where Dennis meets with a person from InGen, it starts to make perfect sense that this dickhead is a con artist, and that he would be willing to do anything to screw Hammond over. In doing so, he agreed to steal the 15 dinosaur eggs from the cryogenic room and sell them to InGen for an unfathomable amount of money. Later on, we learn how playing God is possible by the short, interrupted ride that Hammond built alongside the science-themed area. Basically, Hammond took other people's hard work and research and slapped his name on it. This is also proven in the film. Science. In my personal opinion, the science might have worked with today's technology. I mean, we can clone chickens and God knows what else But the problem is that they need such rare specimens that have died and been preserved in such specific ways that is basically impossible to comprehend, especially in that time period when science was just starting to become more advanced. But I'm getting off topic. I apologize for that. This is movie logic, for Christ's sakes. Hammond and Malcolm argue over the idea of evolution and violent nature. Malcolm brought up some really good points. Malcolm brought up the idea that dinosaurs were extinct for a reason, while Hammond argued the beauty and family fun would come out of it. As well as everything else goes, what did you think of the film?
I personally loved it.
I did too.
I grew up with that movie. Everyone did. I mean, that's the movie that starts off your dinosaur love. I mean, and me personally, I love dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs. I'm an adult now, so it's gonna follow me no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the movie that definitely started it all. As inaccurate scientifically as it was. But yeah.
Well, it's I don't think it was minting. I don't think it meant to be scientific in that form or something like that.
It was probably scientific for the time.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, we make discoveries every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, but now that we have evolved so much with science and just, I mean, everything, paleontology is making a gigantic leaps. So
yeah, I think the film was pretty good. Everything about the film was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I felt.
Yeah.
There I go again. Damn. Anyway, sorry guys. I gotta stop this habit a little bit. I apologize. Saying in my videos. I apologize for that. But anyway, Ian, I felt as though Jeff Goldblum's character was kind of like on the side of an asshole.
But for a good
in
reason.
a way. But I get it.
Reason.
I get where he's coming from, though.
Yeah, he's trying to protect people from dying. Even though later on in the series you're gonna see black people die anyway.
That's true.
It's true. It's sad but true. It's terrible.
But anyway, what did you think of the? What did you think of the? We can use this to give us something.
So, we made
some bullet points besides the script that we're trying to. But anyway, you're not supposed to know that. I apologize. But anyway, okay, so there was a scene in the movie. By the way, spoilers.
If you haven't seen the movie yet,
do you really care? Do you really care about spoilers? Probably not.
They've had 23 years to see this movie.
25 years, actually. I mean, really, dude. I mean, really. This movie came out in 1993. You mean to tell me you have not seen this movie in 25 years?
Unless babies are in here. But I don't think babies can watch YouTube.
I don't know. But anyway.
Which scene?
Okay.
Back on topic.
Okay, yeah, back on topic. So in the very beginning of the movie, after we see Grant and Sattler, Grant starts talking to a kid about the idea of raptors, about trying to remember
the one where he's thinking, because he's explaining it's a bird.
Yeah.
They're related to birds.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, if it's related to birds, why doesn't it?
Yeah, what did you think of that? What did you think of that?
Where did the kid come from?
I have no idea.
Where exactly did the kid come from? Like, why was he at a paleontology area to begin with. You're supposed to be like at least, I think it's 16 now. You have to go on paleontology things. But yeah, I thought that was probably the truest part of the movie, like scientifically.
Yeah.
I'm a person who loves the realistic dinosaurs. I wish I could see a realistic dinosaur. But
you would probably run for your life.
My dream death is to be eaten by a Giganotosaurus. She's the biggest dinosaur.
If any of you know what that is, let me know in the comments.
It's a gigantic carnivore, almost the size of a brontosaurus, I think. I get my things confused. But it's gigantic and beautiful. That's my dream death.
Yeah, well, okay, I wanted to talk about, there's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about this. And we had discussed about this when we were watching the movie earlier. Hammond tries to do things for the beauty of it.
Yes.
But this is what I thought, and this is and this is for those of you who are gonna probably say, "Oh well, he doesn't understand Hammond's intentions." Well, I'm gonna tell you something. This is the thing. I think Hammond's an idiot. Because this is why. You're going around getting DNA, getting DNA and playing God. Knowing full damn well that something bad would freaking happen in this movie. Knowing full damn well that something would occur. Mm-hmm. The T-Rex, for instance. The raptors. Everything else in between. You meaning to tell me, I get that you have a dream, that you want to have something successful for your legacy. But when it comes to that, but the whole thing with the T-Rex and the raptors should have not have happened.
Yeah. Especially a park like just beginning. No one's ever done this before. It should have just been herbivores. If you are going to play God, it should have been herbivores. You rather be stomped than eaten to death, and the odds of that would be very low to be stomped because they'd be in their enclosures.
Yeah.
Where they're supposed to be with tranquilizers.
Yeah.
Not electric prods, tranquilizers. That's what they mistaken in all of the movie.
Yeah.
They didn't tranquilize that dinosaur, the raptor, in the first one. And he killed the guy for it.
Yeah.
And yeah. And once he killed the guy, they finally like, oh, let's get tranquilizers now. Yeah. But yeah, Hammond.
That's something else that we're gonna get to later on is the weapons. Mm-hmm. Why didn't they? Yeah, you only see a few. You only see a few. Why did you not get the weapons out when we needed them? Earlier on, if you guys remember the T-Rex scene, we could have used weapons. We could have used weapons for that. But why? Why didn't you get them out? Why didn't you get them out then? And because then not only that,
makes the world go round.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off. That's something else that pissed me off about this movie.
Well,
is that greed? You're gonna
hate the next movie then.
Is that greed? Is that going back to Gennaro's Donald Gennaro, the so-called lawyer for Hammond.
Of course, his name is Donald.
Yeah, was trying to was trying to talk about merchandising, trying to do all this other BS, and to be honest, I don't think Hammond was having any of it really. Because
he liked him because he agreed with his ideas. He agreed that this park is gonna be amazing. It's gonna make millions. But they were agreeing on different subjects, but still they were agreeing.
Yeah.
But Hammond wanted the acceptance from the scientists instead of just the lawyer.
Which he didn't.
Yeah.
Which he didn't get any acceptance from it. Because while I get Hammond's idea of wanting to have something for his legacy, Malcolm was right. Grant was right. Sattler was right. All three of them were telling the truth. That when you play God, something terrible happens. There are consequences in this world. When you play God, you screw yourself. No matter how much of a legacy you decide to make for yourself, when you decide to screw around with nature, with Mother Nature, Mother Nature will tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Which,
seriously.
Another thing, like going into that, they chose a frog DNA. They chose it. Frog DNA. And they didn't research it. They could have chose some other kind of DNA that would have been stable. That wouldn't have had them change their sex.
Yeah.
So they can keep controlling that. And then now we have a whole problem where we gotta go have a whole island of dinosaurs. Okay, now.
Yeah.
We have a whole island of dinosaurs in the second movie and all that. Or is that a different island?
We'll get that. We'll get to that later.
We'll get that later.
We're gonna do Lost World tomorrow, by the way. But as for right now, we're doing Jurassic Park. The movie was great. The movie still holds up after 25 years. Even though there were problems in the film, scientific ideas, all this other stuff, greed on top of that. Yeah, I'll tell you something.
That's real life stuff, though.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. The fat bastard, Wayne Knight, who was, and I call him a fat bastard because I don't like him one bit. I hated his character. He was a greedy snake bastard for especially what he did behind Hammond's back.
Well, it's not even just that. I mean, he killed all those people. He shut down the park, all the fences and all that, and he's responsible for those deaths.
Yeah.
But of course, he got killed off, and
it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was the greatest thing ever. When that Dilophosaurus just brutally ate his ass in that Jeep.
Well, it could have been a lot better though, because they didn't picture it. Like, I'm going to get dark here.
Yeah, go ahead.
When a Dilophosaurus, they say it's poisonous, and we believe it. And it probably is. But when it spits at you, it's extreme pain. It probably has like some acid in it or something.
Yeah.
And it paralyzes you. So literally, you will sit there and you can't move. All you can do is watch. And you can watch as it eats you.
Yeah.
And they are pack hunters. So you can be there 1 minute and gone the next. And you could just be watching your legs go, watching your arms go.
Yeah.
I think they could have done that. And they even knew that it caused paralyzation. They said that when they were going on the little trail.
Yeah, but how this movie was written was it was supposed to be towards children. So if you went yeah,
I'm gonna take my kid to go watch people get killed by dinosaurs.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, but anyway,
that's like I'm gonna take my kid to go see Jaws.
This movie, this movie was supposed to. I don't know if it was supposed to cater to kids, because it had a lot of dark moments in it.
It had a
lot of dark moments in it, like the T-Rex scene, for instance. When we first see the water vibrate, that scene alone, and when we're introduced to the T-Rex, to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, That scene alone scared the piss out of people. I know.
Lamb? Or just because of the sight of it?
Maybe both. I think both. Because I remember when I had to have been maybe 6 years old the first time I watched this series.
God, that must be terrifying.
5 years old maybe when I watched this series. The first moment, and it takes me back. It takes me back to a scene that we'll get to later on. It takes me back to another scene that we'll get to in Jurassic World. That fear. The first moment we see the T-Rex, it kind of takes you back. It kind of takes you back to where we first see him in Jurassic World. I'll give you an idea of why.
Yeah.
The eyes. You notice? Did you notice?
The eyes?
Yes.
Oh, Jurassic World you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, and yes. Yes, terrifying.
The eyes. All you see in Jurassic World when he comes out of that paddock are his eyes. Going back to that scene in Jurassic Park, when he is introduced, what do we see first? We see his eyes. It kind of, I know people are gonna be like, Grim, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Bear with me. Try to bear with me.
I'm trying.
Try to bear with me as long as it possibly takes. His eyes are the first thing we see. Because you remember, we see when the kids are in the car. Remember when the kids are in the car? Mm-hmm. He bends down, and they put a light outside of the window.
Yes, the
and
stupid kids they are.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was a really good thing too for the animatronics that did that, that made their pupil go smaller.
Yeah.
That was really cool, especially for the time.
Yeah, we saw it takes that horror aspect. For those of you who are horror fans and stuff like that, you can get what I'm talking about. You can get my meaning from what I'm saying. When you see a creature, it doesn't have to be any ordinary body part. It can be hands. It could be feet. It could be mouth. It could be nose. It could be any body part. I'm pretty sure y'all guys are saying, dude, you're getting off topic a little bit. And I apologize. I'm trying to make my point. But I
think I know what you're talking about. It's like
crap.
That's like the one moment where you see that terrifying yellow eye, and and it makes the movie that much more suspenseful, that much more thrilling,
and that much more. Yeah, it gives that horror. It gives you that horror aspect of where the creature is. Where is he at? You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of the Alien franchise. It kind of reminds me. It kind of
I'm not an Alien person.
Those of you who have seen Alien before, or those of you who have seen Predator before, these kind of creatures, when it's dark out, when it's dark, you can't see nothing. But if you,
well, except out here.
yeah, but if you see, but think about it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Try to think about it for a second. You turn on the light, all you see is eyes looking at you. It could be anything. It could be any type of creature.
Well, that's where me and you differ. Like, I don't watch Jurassic Park or Jurassic World to get scared. I want to see the dinosaurs. I want to see how CGI has progressed in making these beautiful creatures that once lived, and see how other people think how they would be like.
I agree with you, but it's
just seeing that massive creature come out of the fence and just roar and have this beautiful stance close to the ground, all the muscles and all of the jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic Park, it was good, but I don't know, I've seen new ones now and I've fallen in love.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's especially like the Brachiosaurus, when they first come out and you see this big beautiful thing and that extra skin. You can see like kind of a jiggle, and where it walks you can see the muscles, and that's what I see. That's what I go for to see. I don't even care about the horror or the thriller. I just want to spend as much time as possible looking at these amazing creatures and what animators can do to them.
Well, listen, I agree with you.
Animatronics.
I do agree with you about that. I do agree with you. I wasn't talking about just the horror aspect of the situation. I was talking about the view. The view of how the view is of like
definitely.
going back to what you were talking about with the Brachiosauruses and stuff like that, how we saw them in the movie. The view is, in my opinion, this is what I think. The view is what you the POV shot is what you see is what makes the film.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. And I
You
think
get
that
what
goes
you
back
know what
to
I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying, like, I can't really agree with you on the horror or the scary part because I don't see the movie that way. But yeah, I think the view shots, they really put it into perspective for you. Like, these creatures once roamed this gigantic world, and we're just here, tiny now.
Yeah, just visitors,
Mm-hmm.
just visiting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, but anyway, what did you think about the music
Oh, the
by John Williams?
Music's always good, always. Like, no matter what, like, I still sing it every day. It's stuck in my head every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And I don't even watch it like 24/7. I watch it like here and there, and it's always stuck in my head.
Okay, so there was a scene, and you brought up a good point, and you had brought up a good point when we were watching the movie, that they had no evidence to back up their claim.
Which one?
I think it was about the raptors. I don't know if it was about the raptors,
Well, raptors,
or
we have
if
evidence.
it was.
The mosquitoes?
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
So the science, nowadays I do believe we can achieve dinosaur DNA reconstruction. Of course, we won't give them frog DNA again, but I do think it's plausible.
Yeah.
It's just that the DNA, they chose to pick it from a specimen that needed to be preserved and died very quickly under amber, which that's not gonna really happen in the real world that much. We might find a few specimens, but it's not plausible with that. The mosquito thing is very flawed, and to create, there are tons and tons and tons of dinosaurs that they didn't even scratch the surface in Jurassic Park. They're barely getting onto Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom now, but
Yeah.
there are so many dinosaurs, and to get all of that is impossible. Simply impossible. Unless, I don't know all the scientific stuff now, but unless there is a way to get DNA from fossils now, there probably is, but the mosquito thing is just very flawed. They just did it like, yeah, it's a good thing, let's just go with it now. And then now that we have evolved in science and in like bioengineering, it's just not plausible anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to Hammond. Okay, so in the movie, like I believe it's in the beginning of the film, if I remember correctly, Hammond goes to Grant, and I want to talk about that.
He destroys the paleontology site, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Not just that, but also the bad decision that Grant made.
Yeah.
And I want to get your thoughts on that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so Hammond offered Grant to pay for 3 more years, or I guess it was like 3 years until the expedition ended for paleontology, that he would pay out his, I guess, research or something. Yeah. But he'd pay it off or something. And because of that, Alan Grant says, yes, let's go. And they're so happy they don't even think about dinosaur. Well, he didn't tell them about what the park was exactly. We find out, well, we do, when they're in the helicopter actually about to land. So it was a bad choice, but he didn't tell him. Hammond didn't tell Alan, and so there really was no preventing it because Hammond is such a good businessman.
Yeah.
He really sold the idea of his park that is unknown to them. So that's the main big decision. But if it wasn't for them, because this would have gone anyway. Yeah. But if it wasn't for them, the kids would have died. Everyone else would have died. It's true.
Yeah, I know it's true.
Everyone would have died if it wasn't for them.
I feel like that, even though it is true. First of all, Hammond shouldn't have never brought his grandchildren to begin with in the movie. The grandchildren should have just stayed home. Like if they could have stayed home, they wouldn't be caught in any danger at all during this film. Mm-hmm. And
the writers thought they were gonna be good though. Let's add some annoying kids to make the suspense more amazing. Literally, all they did was the kitchen scene. That was it. Which the kitchen scene is bull. The raptors would have smelled them or heard them. Dinosaurs don't rely on just sight.
But it's still a good scene, though.
It's a good scene.
It still holds up as classic. You gotta give it that though.
Classic, yes. But you'd be dead. Simple. Try to bang on a spoon on the thing, you'd be dead. That raptor would kick the spoon and eat your face. Break your neck.
I think
These raptors are too large.
Even though there is problems in the movie, even though there is problems in the film, it still holds up as one of the biggest franchises in the history of cinema. Would you agree?
Yes. But I agree that because no one else willing to do it. There's no one else willing to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can very easily make a movie about velociraptors that are actually velociraptors, but it wouldn't get any views because velociraptors are knee high with feathers. They look like little birds, well, big birds. Yeah. And this society has become so, like, what's the word? Focused that dinosaurs were these big giant lizards.
Yeah.
But in reality, they were related to birds. Even in the film, they said that.
Yeah.
And where are the feathers? Where are the... Even, like, the slightest hints of feathers, even.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, never mind. Once you add feathers, it's so much beautiful. So much more beautiful.
All right, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna give our final thoughts on the movie, and we're gonna give our ratings on the movie. I still believe that the film holds up after 25 years. I think that this film got a lot of flack, especially from the scientific aspect.
But even as, like, I'm a very logical thinker.
Yeah.
And I still love the film. It's a very fun film to watch. And it really takes you back to your childhood.
Yeah.
Whenever you first watched it. It makes you feel like a little kid again.
Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, while this film had many classic moments, it did have a string of problems that was involved with it. And even though it did have problems with it, I still gave it 10 out of 10. What do you think?
10 out of 10, yes. Well, yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was going to lower it because of Raptors, but 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that this movie still holds up. I believe so.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Even after 25 years.
Jesus.
But yeah, what do y'all guys think? Let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about this and all that. And if you still like this series, which movie was your favorite? Let us know that too as well. That's gonna be it for me. I'm Mr. Grimreaper 512. She's Alpha Wolf. We'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.
Bye.